The morning sun barely pierced the heavy London fog as the city woke to the rumble of the underground commuters packed into trains. Cafes flooded with people seeking warmth. Delivery trucks navigated tight streets. And inside the colossal O2 arena, 28-year-old Elias was already deep in the trenches of cables and soundboards long before the rest of the production crew had even grabbed their coffee. The arena floor was a chaotic hive of activity. Scaffolding clanked, lighting rigs were hoisted into the rafters, roadies shouted over the hum of massive generators, and in the center of the mixing booth, Elias quietly neutralized audio feedback loops that nobody else could figure out. His black hoodie was faded from years of touring, his hands were calloused from wrapping heavy cables, his face showed deep exhaustion, but his eyes showed focus. Because everything Elias endured in this brutal industry, he did for one person, his grandmother. His phone buzzed against the metal console. He glanced at the screen and a warm smile broke through his tired expression. He swiped it to answer the video call. An elderly woman with kind eyes and silver hair appeared on the screen. "Good morning, my boy." "Morning, Gran. How are you feeling?" She adjusted the camera, holding up a beautifully framed photograph of a small bakery. They finished the community center restoration. The mayor is actually coming to cut the ribbon. Elias' face lit up. "That is incredible. The dedication ceremony is tonight, right? I know how busy you are with the big music festival." She hesitated. "But you'll still be there." Elias smiled gently. "Front row, I promise." His grandmother beamed. "Good." The call ended and Elias returned to his live mixing setup, completely unaware that before the sun set, he would be forced to choose between the peak of his career and that simple promise. 3 levels up. Festival director Marcus Vance stepped out of the VIP elevator. He was 45, razor sharp, fiercely demanding, and notoriously ruthless. When Marcus walked through the venue, crew members walked faster. Stage managers dropped their voices. Technicians carefully chose every word. Marcus believed the entertainment industry demanded blood, sweat, and the sacrifice of your personal life. And he expected everyone on his payroll to bleed for the show, especially today. Because tonight was the launch of Echoes, a massive global electronic music broadcast expected to reach 10 million live viewers. The sponsors wanted absolute perfection. The headlining DJs demanded flawless sound, and Marcus intended to deliver exactly that. At noon, an emergency production meeting was called over. The radios, stage managers, lighting directors, and audio engineers crammed into the backstage production office. Elias stood quietly near the back wall. He preferred the shadows to the spotlight, but as the lead live audio mixer, his role was the heartbeat of the entire festival. Marcus stood at the head of the long table, a master schedule projected behind him. The broadcast window opens in 8 hours. The room went dead silent. Everyone listened. Marcus continued, "I've just reviewed the final technical requirements. Beginning immediately, no one leaves this arena." A few managers nodded. This was standard for crunch time. Then came the absolute directive. "Tonight, tomorrow, and straight through Sunday morning, nobody goes home. We sleep in the trailers. We don't stop until the final act unplugs." A murmur of forced agreement rippled through the room. Most people nodded reluctantly. Elias remained still. Marcus noticed. He always noticed the one person not nodding. Elias looked up. "Yes, Marcus? Is there a problem with the audio bay?" The entire room turned toward the back wall. Elias hesitated for a fraction of a second, then answered honestly, "I won't be here tonight." The room froze. Marcus blinked, genuinely caught off guard. "Excuse me?" Elias spoke with a calm, even tone. "My grandmother is receiving a community honor tonight. I have to be there." Several stage managers visibly tensed. Nobody said no to Marcus Vance. Ever. Marcus crossed his arms, his voice dropping an octave. "Send her some flowers. You're staying." Elias held his gaze. "I'm sorry, Marcus," I said. "Send flowers." A few technicians looked horrified. Elias remained entirely respectful but immovable. I can't do that. Marcus's expression turned to stone. And why is that? Elias answered without missing a beat. Because she raised me, and she's waited years for this. The production office became suffocatingly quiet. Marcus took a slow step forward. We are producing a $20 million live broadcast. Millions of people are tuning in. Elias nodded. I know the stakes. You are choosing a neighborhood tea party over the biggest broadcast of the decade. Silence. Absolute. Heavy silence. Nobody moved. Marcus couldn't process the defiance. For years, his crew had sacrificed everything for the festival. Missed weddings, missed holidays. Yet Elias stood there completely calm, completely unbothered by the pressure. Marcus' voice dripped with venom. This production. And in that quiet moment, surrounded by folding chairs and neighborhood friends, Elias understood the ultimate truth of the grind. Success at the very top means absolutely nothing if the people who matter most are left to celebrate without you. Meanwhile, back at the arena, Vance stared blankly at the empty chair in the audio booth. The music was deafening, the crowd was massive, but the broadcast was already running into technical issues, and as the feedback started to squeal through the monitors, Marcus realized he hadn't just lost a contractor that day. He had lost the heart of his entire production, and the silence Elias left behind was the loudest sound of all.